We got we're live. Oh, y'all in the building, man. I ain't even know y'all was on the way. Even though I'm the one that hit the button. You dig what I'm saying? Arden Brown be doing that. This the guy I be watching. Be like, oh, we're live. We're live. I didn't know. We in the building. You know, I got to do my little customary little chizek. You did what I'm saying. Make sure we popping. Yeah, we popping. So, you know, let's get right here. Zoom that in. And we're gonna be smooth right there, man. All right, people, what's going on? What it do? What it do? What it do, fools? Straight like that, we back. Customary Sunday live. As always, we live in the United States of America, man. A lot of crazy things that go around on a weekly basis over here where we live. I don't have an extensive list of things, but maybe the topics that I do have will get me through it, man. I yearn for the days where the chat has got a couple of folks in there lively at the same time and got some questions to throw out, and we can just go off into some random branches and talking about random things or what have you, man. But at any rate, here we are. You know what I mean? I put out a couple episodes last week, as always. What were they actually? Let me slow myself down, man. Not get on camera, I be moving like I'm on somebody's schedule. It's crazy. It's a crazy little way to be. Charleston White. Yeah, we saw Charleston White. I put out an episode about the good liars up there at a Trump rally. Crazy conspiracy storm going around. You know, the QAnons of the world out here believe that JFK is still alive. And that he is actually running government and has been for years. I don't know how old JFK would be at this point in time where he's still alive, but that's what they claim. So that's what that Good Lies video. You know, they go to a lot of different Trump rallies and all of that, man. And, you know, they got the skin to get in. You know what I mean? I'm sure at this point a lot of those people have seen them on YouTube clips. I'm sure. I don't even know if I was gonna say like the OAN, the Newsmax of the world, probably. You know, you would think that they send clips around or at least kind of tell them these are the liberals to watch out for. Don't let them ask you a question and trip you up. You know what I mean? But you know, with so many people out there, and it's obvious that they don't watch, so they fall into a lot of traps. So they still able to get a lot of interesting people on camera to spit out some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard, man. And so I put out a video about that. I'm dropping things. I also put out a video about Charleston White. I saw Charleston White on a recent clip on Boss Talk 101. And he pulled his normal walk out of the interview talking loud like a woman, won't let somebody get a word in when they got something to rebut him on. And there was a couple old cats, and it's so crazy. Like this nigga running from everybody. The young niggas in the Kobe jersey, niggas in the barber shop. He get behind he get behind his wife with a broom. 60-year-old ex gangsters, or when from the way bro talking, apparently he's still out here in the mesh. But yeah, Cuz was proceeding to tell Charleston that he didn't appreciate the way that Charleston came out of his mouth about in particular Nipsey Hussle. He mentioned Monster Cody and Tukey Williams. You know what I'm saying? All three of these are reputable gang members. I don't know that we necessarily know Nip for more of the gangster light. We know him through the, you know what I'm saying, the music game, but you know, he repped his Rolling 60 said hard about it. As far as Stanley and another cat there, I forgot his name just that quick, just in talking, man. But yeah, you know, we know those dudes. Monster Cody, yeah, Monster Cody and Tukey, man. We know them exclusively for they street antics. And some of you out hearing these names may not be familiar, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But if you are in the world of gangsterism out here, then you'll be familiar with these people. And so bro was proceeding to tell him like, man, you can't just basically can't go around here just talking like you want to talk, bro, and think anytime somebody want to question you about it, to tell you to stand on business or try to push back against your narrative, like you got to be prepared to stand on something. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump up and talk loud and walk out the room and make that be the reason that you right. You know what I'm saying? He's his classic move, bro. So this 6-year-old cat get to talking to him, or basically, you know what I mean? He was explaining, like he was saying that I wasn't appreciating it, and I don't care who said it. They're gonna have to stand on business. I still represent this car. You feel me, kid? And so, like normal, Charleston White up, off camera, out the door. You know what I'm saying? And when he posted it, I got under the comments and I immediately was just like, you know what I mean? This one of them lame nigga moves, like what he do, you know what I mean? And the comments basically went that way, but it was a couple of them that you saw was, I don't know, still trying to uphold his honor and all that. So that prompted me to put a show together about him, man, because I've seen far too many instances of this man just all bark no bite. You know what I'm saying? All bark no bite is like the good way of summing it all up. You know what I'm saying? His man first step is to go for some type of defensive weapon. Now I guess he a skinny guy and he ain't never gonna get no weight. Seem like all this money he getting out here in the world though. You supposed to gain him a couple pounds over the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he ain't getting money like it looked like he may be. And I've always kind of questioned, or I always kind of brought up outside of X, you know, and it's crazy. He posts on X in third person. It'd be like Charleston White destroys a reporter asking him a dumb question or something, as if it's somebody else posting to his page. He ain't, you know what I mean? He ain't got it like that, bro. So, and when it comes to YouTube, he doesn't have a page that I'm aware of. So, you know, for all this years of putting it together and having to know how to tell people, it's odd to see that he don't really have a whole enterprise put together, unless, yeah, you know, maybe he'll pop out and say, "Man, I got 10 pages, faces channel. Y'all niggas don't even know about it." And in which case, I don't know if I can give him credit for it, because we don't know about them, so we don't know if they real. But you know, he's one of my favorite sources of material, man. Because I love exposing the absolute fakery that that man involves himself in, bro. You know, he talks loud, he says things that the culture already knows about the culture, things that we instill in our kids and that we tell them to watch out for, because, you know, like in my case, we was actually out there, like for real living it. So I can definitely tell mine about it, and those that I happen to touch throughout my life. You dig what I'm saying? Pause, because you know that folks might take that wrong when I say that. But you know, he just says it in a way to where like he's that special nigga that has to tell everybody else, because the rest of us just out here eating watermelon and chicken wings and twerking and, you know what I mean, smoking weed. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the Fox News, that's the Newsmax approach. And so since he's willing to, you know, shit on on black rap figures out here and talk bad about their kids, in some instances, you know, side with the other side of the demographic and framing the way that these people died and they should have complied. You know what I mean? That was his thing. But since the Charlie Kirk incident and his remarks, which I will say thank you to Charlie Kirk and Charleston White, because that has, you know, I've had a couple good little bangers, but that was my highest episode thus far, like 17,000 views. But when he got put name into the hat of criticizing the Charlie Kirk fans and what they were reacting to people that, you know, reacted with and not remorse. You dig what I'm saying, to the event that happened to Charlie Kirk. When he got to calling them out, oh boy, they lost their everlasting mind. You understand what I'm saying? But that was his core fan base. And since then, you've seen him acting out. And if you watch him now, if you watch Charleston White now, despite being the guy that will go on prime time with Alex Stein with a Confederate flag costume on and swearing that this baton that he has in his hand is the very baton that the cops beat Rodney King up with out in LA. He got it on eBay. He gave it to Alex Stein. Alex Stein motioned as if he was beating Rodney King. Stop resisting, Rodney King. Stop resisting. So look up a couple of those names. Alex Stein, and just Charleston White, and just check him out. It's that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He painted himself in whiteface here about a week ago. And of course, he'll say it was a joke. He said, "This is all this time I've been wanting to be." It's in the name. You remember when you was in school, when you first started getting into English class, there was this little lesson in your English composition class. It was what's in a name. You dig what I'm saying? And so Charleston White, what's in a name, perfectly defines. That man's a game. You understand me, man? But like I say, bro, he lost his little core base. And if you watch him nowadays, he seems to try to have more commentary and content that is of the pro black variety. You dig what I'm saying? He seems to want to take the popular stance, you know what I mean? Where the gist of the people see what's going on out here, and we call it out for that. And he was always being the contrarian, but now if you watch him these days, he want to get on the side of everything. He put his opinion out about this, and I guess we'll roll into that. He put his opinion out about this Rick Chow situation, man, up there in South Carolina, which is the most recent show I put out. I put that out actually earlier today. You know what I'm saying? Click on that thing and give me a view if you will. For those of you that are under a rock, we have a Rick Chow and a son Chow. Let's just call him Young Chow. These two people owned a convenience store in South Carolina. And here about 3 years ago, we got a young man by the name of Cyrus Carmack Belton. Cyrus for short. Cyrus goes into the store, and now I got the surveillance video in my show, and I'll immediately kind of say what's odd to me, because if I am not mistaken, it shows young Cyrus. Actually, I got the video here, man. Let me slow myself down. It don't even matter how damn, did I delete it? I didn't delete it. All right, so I'm kind of confused because as I'm looking at this, okay, because I was about to say, I was like, now I thought he got out of a car. So no, he walks up, book bag on his back. Because I also had a question about the book bag at the end. I'm like, where did the bag come from? So, the video shows man Cyrus walking to the convenience store. He goes back there to where the waters are. He grabs what is purportedly 4 bottles of water. After kind of meandering around the store, he gets back where the waters are, grabs 4 of them, and puts them inside his hoodie. In my video, I question why would you do that, bro? Because we just calling spades spades. And if we just trying to make sense of the situation. Now, I also said immediately when he walked in, you could see the posture of the mom. You dig what I'm saying? She immediately kind of perked up. This doesn't look to be like a busy store, at least at that time. There's only one car outside. I think it was a guy at the counter. So it's, not many people in. But when Lil Bro walked in, she kind of immediately perked up. You know what I'm saying? And just was kind of got right in a good little viewing angle. She doing little stuff so she can put her head up. You know what I mean? And then eventually, after he moved from the first location back there by the waters, she moved on. Well, actually, he walks in and walks across. He stops and then he walks across the store. She's watching him from like this angle. Then as he starts to walk, she walks over and she starts messing around with some potato chips and stuff as he gets to the other side of the store. She started like she was just getting chips and watching him. He walks back over to the other side of the store where the waters are and starts to put the waters in his hoodie. At this point, she kind of walk over behind him and just basically stand right behind him. At this point is where I think he sees her reflection in the little drink doors. You dig what I'm saying? And he puts the waters back. He takes them out of his hoodie, puts them back. Then he proceeded to go and walk on out the store. Now, let's kind of stop in the talk right there because, well, let's go on and continue on through. He walks up towards the back, by the door, about to go out, and that's when he starts having a conversation with the Korean owner, the mom, and then the son kind of comes around, and then bro walks on after where they asked him what he got. He takes his hoodie and kind of shakes his hoodie. He said, "I ain't got nothing in my hoodie." and some couple words going back and forth. He goes on out the door. Well, the son and the dad decide to shoot on out the door and chase him. So boom, they run, they go off camera. You can't see nothing else on the video at that point. Then it cuts out, and apparently, if you let Rick Chow and son tell it, they're chasing Cyrus. Cyrus falls down, drops his bag. His gun falls out the bag. He picks the gun up, turns around, points the gun at the son, and the dad shot him in the back. Now, now we're at the point to the end of it, so let's back all the way up to the point of coming in the store and leaving the store without having bought anything. And at the point when he was leaving out the store, it hadn't been like a confrontation. He was headed out. It's not like they confronted him back there where he was getting the drinks, and then he like, man, F y'all, I'll put these drinks back. I don't need them at the store, and I'm going out. I think he decided to put them back when he saw the lady. Now, whether he was going to pay for them or not, we do not know. I will just point out, like I said in the video, I'm like, bro, why are we putting them in your hoodie, my nigga? Like, you already got to know that is a bad look. But I gave him the out that he a 14-year-old kid, and he's not necessarily thinking 360 degrees. You know what I'm saying? You got to be aware of your surroundings. So I gave him that out. When I see him putting them in the hoodie, I'm just like, bro, that's a bad look. You dig what I'm saying? It's a bad look. And then you putting all four of them back is also a crazy look. Like I'm not understanding, bro. Now, if you're saying if you want to give him the out that he put them back when he saw the lady hawking him, that sort of suggests. I don't know if bro was finna buy him or not, but we don't know how that played out. But it just, if I'm just thinking of, like I said, trying to parse this situation. Okay, he get to the top of the store. Now he finna walk on out after putting them back. So it's in my head, I'm like, damn, bro, if you was gonna go in there to buy something, I think you should just went on and got, just putting them all in your hood. It was just a bad way that it all developed out. So they still not convinced that he doesn't have anything. They chase him out the door. Now the way he gets shot in the back, I mean, I don't know, bro. Let me look at the video. Let me see something, because from what I remember, let's see who came out first. Let me get to the video. All right, so the son, yeah. Yeah, because one of my homies, man, I was talking to one of my homies yesterday, and he was like, man, that the son is the one that did it. Because as you see them running out the door behind, bro, the son is already over here on this side of the counter, kind of right behind mom. He run on out behind Cyrus. Dad comes from right behind him. What did he grab? I mean, there's no way that it was. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, man, because I was about to say, I thought that he grabbed a broom. I thought Dad grabbed a broom on his way out. Because to think that he could reach right there and grab a gun, he was on this side of the register with all of the customers. And he didn't go behind the register. He just kind of reached right there beside him. So it's like, to think that there was a gun right there within reach of customers and random people coming in, I wouldn't believe that. It looked in the first shot, but as I kept watching it, you couldn't really tell what he grabbed. Even when he ran outside, I don't see anything long in his hand resembling a broom, but I thought that's what he grabbed. And because I'm thinking, like, again, if Cyrus fell down on his stomach, scrambles, gets his gun, turns around and points it at the son, How is dad at the same time? Because that would suggest, because when you watch the video, the son is in front of dad as we run. And even when you show it on out into the parking lot, you see him running. Son is in front of dad. So I don't know, man. It would suggest that this old man outran his son at the time when they got up on him, and all in the split second of Cyrus falling and grabbing that gun and spinning around, that his dad had made it to where he was behind Cyrus. As Cyrus is pointing the gun at his son to shoot him in the back. I don't think that's what happened, bro. I feel like he was running with that bag and probably reaching in that bag to get his gun, and I think whichever one of them two was, I think they shot him in his back before they gave him a chance to turn around with the gun. That's what I think happened. You know what I'm saying? And judging on who was in the front, judging on who I never saw grab anything. I saw Pops grab some, but I could not believe that it was a gun sitting there within reach of just random customers. I would have to believe that after, before coming from around that counter, that son grabbed that gun and tucked it in his waistband. You know what I'm saying? Or was already on it. That's what I believe. But they go in the trial. They had the son trying to look like he was some young dumb goy. Like young dumb goy. Like he would never be capable of something like that. You know, they try to dress you up in court, man, and put little glasses on you. You know what I mean? Young you up. You know what I'm saying? Make you look innocent and try to have them there and have mercy on you. And so he's on the stand acting like he doesn't know what's going on. It was pathetic, man. But despite the valiant effort of the attorneys on behalf of the prosecution, man, they read the verdict out, and Rick Chow was found innocent after spending like what 3 years in jail up there in South Carolina. Of course, they destroyed the store, but he put them 3 years to the game, man, and they find him innocent, let him go home. And I just don't even see like going on with Cuz theory being that saying that he thinks the son did it. You could see the play. Well, okay, the honor in the family, that Asian or whatever they be talking about, and so you could kind of see where dad might go and do the bid for him in the hopes that what I mean, as old as I am, and I've already done 3 years, that'll bode well, and they'll look at that as time served. But at the end of the day, you younger, you got more years to put out here into the world and bring honor to the family. This type of situation. And so I could see dad taking that for him, you know what I mean? And in the end, it worked out for him, bro. They let him go home. And, as of right now, unless we hear something about somebody taking it to the streets, they out here trying to pick up the pieces, man. But to chase somebody outside, 2, 3 people chasing the outside for a bottle of water. What $1 set, even if it was a Dasani, what Dasani like $2.99 or something, which is I heard was nasty. I don't know if I ever really had a Dasani, but I'm like, it's just water, right? What? You gonna chase the man outside for $1, $2 water? And I got to believe, man, in this part of South Carolina, it's probably not some metropolitan hot spot where you just getting hundreds of different customers every day. I got to imagine that's a local little spot where you see the same individuals. They don't have many stores to shop at, so he'll be back around, and you ought to know who he is. Call the police on him. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen store employees chase somebody outside like that. You know what I'm saying? They might have ran to the door or something and then locked the door and called the police or something. But about a bottle of water at that. That was the weird part. And you went out there with a gun. You chased him outside with a gun. If you thought that you was needing a gun for the threat that was outside, seemed like you would have stayed indoors. If you were taking a gun outside just for a guy that you suspect had stole a bottle of water, bro, like I just don't see how those two meet each other. You know what I'm saying? He got the bag already. Did you not? Okay, if you suspected he had a gun in the bag, why would you willingly go outside and potentially get in a gunfight? It's not like a guarantee that you're going to shoot him and he not shoot you. So I just don't find at any angle why the Childs were not held more accountable for this shit, bro. You dig what I'm saying? And so A lot of people like me feeling that way. And so they went out here in these streets and let some folks know some things. And so there is a contingent or a plan. I guess it's in full effect. I ain't gonna lie. Today I thought about going to get something to eat. And I thought about one of my favorite spots that me and my loved ones go to. And I said, I'm not going, bro. I go to another restaurant. I ain't gonna hold you. I stayed down with the movement today. And I suspect going forward, I'm gonna stick to it because the thought of me thinking like, yeah, I wonder if these businesses around here are looking up in these last couple of days and not seeing people that look like me and my sister them in their restaurants. And I wonder at the end of the day when they count up that money, I wonder if they thinking like, yeah, bro, it's a noticeable difference in our revenue for the day. So that thought is interesting to me. I like the thought of it. So I'm gonna partake in it as much as I can. You dig? But that's what the community called for, man. And what's really got the dubs on it, bro? What's really got the dubs on it? You had a couple of influences from the Asian side of thing, bro, that seemed to well, like for once, let's start it like this, right? So well, I guess it's off the back of these videos. So I guess I gotta introduce a couple of them. Let's play some of these videos. For those of you all that heard that hadn't seen the video I put out, let's kind of play you a couple of. So this guy right here really got the ball rolling, because this is what okay, this is what the sister then was coming out saying, right? About this shit. I'm not spending another damn dime with them after what Rick Chow did to 14-year-old Cyrus. She be going a little off, so I ain't gonna let that play a long time. But this guy right here, man, this guy what really kind of got it going. This fella right here. Now, this is so stupid, bro. Any other time, oh, that wasn't a video. I was saying, any other time I click a video, it starts playing. When the black community says let's boycott Asian businesses, please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your cars. Yeah, this cat right here, he got it started, man. And so folks promptly got on his ass, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't name nothing in his video that nobody really gave a damn about. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't named nothing in that video that various people hadn't been calling on for years to get out of our neighborhood. Because it's odd how so much of those pop up in our neighborhoods. You dig what I'm saying? I guess them folks eat Chinese food, but they'll go get their liquor from the ABC store. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna pop up in the middle of their neighborhood with just a random little ran down little look. Like I noticed the last couple of years. I say the last year, man. If you notice in the South, all these little small convenience stores, all of a sudden, all of them adding a liquor store. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a thing where it's too many liquor stores in the hood. Like it literally is multiple liquor stores in every hood now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm like, what the damn did they pass a niggas drink more liquor law? You know what I'm saying? It's like they're all of these little spots because I thought it was hard to get a liquor license from what I understood. But these days, ain't no telling what the policies and procedures are looking like to get anything started. Sound like if you got your money right, especially nowadays, you can pay your way on up through there. But I thought it was hard to get a liquor license. But every little spot you see in the hood, man, now they're attaching a liquor store. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is that about, bro? Because again, you would not slide through any alternate neighborhood or the other side of the other demographic and see those. They're just a plethora of liquor. You're like, come on, bro. And so again, if they would like to take some of those out, I don't think anybody would be affected. But I think the community would be all the better for it. I think they biggest hitters are women having to buy synthetic hair for their hairdos, and that black women, they gonna get their hair done. And I don't even know if I can say, I guess going and getting their nails done and all that. And I spoke on it in the show. You know what I mean? I know somebody very near and dear to my heart that is very good at doing nails and all that. You know what I mean? And I told that person that that's a variable trait to take forward because you don't see a lot of people like her that can do it. and I ran into some difficulties trying to start a little nail shop about 10 years back. You know what I mean? Just had some mess around bread, man. Just trying all kind of things. You know what I mean? And I ran into some hurdles in just trying to get the equipment from that community. You know what I mean? So I kind of saw how gate kept it was. And so, those two industries, man, are the ones that we tend to have to patronize their establishments for. But there's also this thing called Amazon, you know what I mean? And I would tend to believe that the synthetic hair, if the same things are available on Amazon, I tend to believe that they cheaper on Amazon than walking into your local beauty supply store. You know what I'm saying? And not that those people in there in particular, you know, purport to have the beliefs and the ideas like Cat that we just watched, but you know what I mean. A lot of times out here, bro, the apple don't fall far from the tree. It roll a little bit, but you can look up from where you standing at where that apple done wrote there. You know what I'm saying? You can stand there and you can look up and look at the tree. Say, yeah, you came from that tree right there. You do what I'm talking about. So it just is what it is, bro. And sometimes cannot afford to, play the game loose. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's the cause for it, man. And like I said, bro, I'm probably gonna adhere to it because after hearing cats like him, and then this one right here, listen to this cat. This is new. Y'all ain't nothing about this one.
We'll focus on ours. And I'm like, you can't even focus on your own problems because you don't call out your own problems. Oh, we'll police our own community. You don't even police your own community. You don't care.
I can't let him go too much. He try to be like Nick Fuentes, so he talk loud. His whole little mannerism and all that. It's a guy named Kangamin Lee. You know what I'm saying? I run across him. He's trying to get them some clicks out here, get click worthy by just being, loud and I guess obnoxious. Obnoxious is too nice of a word, but yeah, he went on this whole little rant and rave talking about how it's such a travesty how black people don't police their own neighborhoods, how we don't say anything about crime, about black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? Which is all a lie. These are all farces that they come up with in their head, man. Just blanket descriptors that they try to put on us. You dig? Um, he brought up an example of in Atlanta the other day. I think some guy that had some mental issues stabbed a black lady on the train, innocent black lady, which is absolutely a tragedy. But he's trying to juxtapose that with the Cyrus situation and asking us or implying that we don't have a reason to be upset about that because we're not upset about the crimes that happen within our community. Like I said, that's definitely a lie. The same amount of mourning, the same amount of let's stop the violence and having form and all of that happens, man. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely it's gonna always hit different when it's to the hands of somebody from a different race. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you can look back and put together the examples of times when you know what I'm saying, where it's like it seemed like these people would lend themselves to that kind of interaction. You know what I'm saying? Because they already just quick finger on the trigger. You know what I mean? Bringing a gun to approach me anyways out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Especially like down south in these stand your ground states and all that, man. Like, yeah, bro, there's a lot of people out here who create situations like that. They want to be that martyr, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It usually takes you to be the one on the bad end of a situation to be the martyr, but you can still be alive and be a martyr. So, it's murky, it's murky territory, man. And I think they handled that situation completely inappropriately. And so for Kangamin Lee, but like I said, bro, if when you live in the internet world, a lot of these people do the most for these clicks and views. They generally live a life and live in an area that they'll never really see. Uh, the people that disagree with them, they live isolated and stay in their own little section. So you can't really take it too serious, man. But like I say, bro, it's not like none of us have went in stores and definitely been profiled. You know what I'm saying? They've been watched. You turn around and looked up, and all of a sudden somebody put their head down. You know, it happens a lot, man. And I don't know. I guess they just think it's just impossible for us to have money, be able to buy things. Even though it's like with these tropes on us, bro, it's like you just have to willingly be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because you can look around everywhere you go and see black folks having things. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the same restaurants, paying the same tab, driving a better car, you living in a nice how you know what I'm saying? Having things, bro. Smart people, getting to the Jews, all this, that, and the third. So but they would rather tell themselves the tropes, man, because it make them more comfortable. The minute they start to give credence and add to the idea that these folks are really much more farther along than you would give them credit for, and they start to get a little afraid. You understand what I'm saying? They start to understand that is real. Yeah, it be real in the field. So ignorance is bliss, man, is what they call it. You heard me? But yeah, bro, that was a bad situation. They shouldn't have handled it like that. And so, with our cause for boycotting the Asian community and their businesses and all of that, you've had a couple of their, I guess, called prominent people. But I've also heard a couple of Asian guys come out in their video saying like, we can't have this, bro. Like he knows the game. He's like, man, if they stop supporting our businesses, bro, you know, white ladies don't buy yaki. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so we going down through there. You dig? I'm sure they get their nails done, but I'm sure there's probably I don't know the white lady lifestyle. Like, so I'm guessing there's either like just white nail shops or Asian nail shops, or do white ladies go to the Asian shops? I don't know that I've ever seen I don't know. I guess at big shops. I don't know. I've been around a couple chicks though, and when they got their nails done and all that, and it seemed to be even though that ain't like hair. You know what I'm saying? You can understand why white ladies don't get their hair done by black ladies. They don't even use the same kind of products, and vice versa. But when it comes to fingernails are standard, right? You know what I mean? They made from the same materials in everybody's body. So you would think that they could go to the same nail salon, but it don't seem to. From what I remember from the times I've glanced in one, or like I said, went in there with a couple of chicks at time to time. I don't know that I seen a mixture of a crowd. You know what I mean? It seems to be exclusively like black girls in the one. I've never been to a nail salon with a white lady, so I don't know if it's exclusive like that. But I don't think I've ever seen many white ladies, if any, at the black nail salon. So yeah, I think dude is seeing light. Like, man, when it comes to who puts money in our pocket in these industries, we can't do without the black money. You know what I'm saying? But I got a feeling that they're gonna see some revenue drop, man. I don't know. Of course, everybody ain't not gonna stop going, but I think a good number of individuals will, man. And uh, that jury did bad, bro. That jury did bad, but I think they played the game to where they wasn't gonna give that old man any more time, and they played the game and they played it out perfectly like that. But that was that, man. We'll move on to something else. I thought this was gonna happen later on today, but I see it's not until tomorrow. The the NBA Finals, man. Let's talk about Wemby then, bro. Let's talk about Wemby and the boy. Cause Wemby like he finna get swept. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. If Wemby gets swept, he might just go be a monk. He might say just screw the NBA all the way around. You dig what I'm saying? At least that's what I'm thinking, man. And I'm thinking they're gonna get swept. I just really don't see. I don't see a way that they go to New York and get a game because home court advantage is supposed to get you an advantage. And so if the New York Knicks were able to defeat you twice on your home floor, I don't know that there's anything there to tell me and to give me confidence that the Spurs are going to go to New York and get one of those games. I just don't. I don't. The math doesn't math for that. You know what I mean? So, and then saying them two games, they had a perfect opportunity to win that game too. Perfect opportunity. I mean, game two should have been won in the third quarter. They were up 13 points in the third. Well, no, hold on. No, that was the first game. That's the first game where they was up 13 and ended up losing by 10. 105-95. In that second game, they had built a decent lead. New York built the lead too, and then they come on back. But the Spurs, man, bro, I'll be honest. I want to see them to win. I almost said lose. I want to see them. My statement is, I want to see them win. I picked them to win, but they play such sloppy, random basketball that I almost like seeing them lose, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I'm kind of psychic when it comes to sports. You know what I mean? I feel like within the flow of the game, it be certain things that happen, and I feel like I be like, I always call, I be like, yeah, they're gonna lose, bro. You know what I'm saying? Am I right every time? Of course not. But generally, I am. Now the tide may turn a couple times back and forth, but I'll see a certain mistake or a certain thing about what a team is doing or a certain player is doing, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, I can see that that's gonna be a problem all the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, when I watched the Spurs and they guard play, bro, I thought when De'Aaron Fox came back, he was gonna be like the key to, I don't know, I guess selling down the offense, and he just another guy to get out there and run around and play 1-on-1, try to get it to Wemby. If we can't get it to Wemby, shoot a 3-pointer basketball, bro. It's so stupid watching it. Then you're looking at Wemby. Wemby looks so pedestrian trying to get position on the block, bro. He looks so stupid because his center of gravity is too high. So once you get low and just give him a nudge wherever you are, like you got him off balance, it's so easy to push him off the block, bro. He be struggling trying to get that leg back around and behind you, get that elbow behind you, and wrap you. Be like his whole game, the whole game, he just doing this. Look, I'm finna kill something back here. The whole game, that's what Wemby doing. When they put the camera on him, the whole game, bro, he too small, man. But with that being said, that's why I say, what's his name? Miss Johnson is the coach. Now I ain't hating on Miss Johnson, but I said in one of my Twitter arguments that if the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama get swept, somebody's gonna get fired, and I think it's gonna be Mitch Johnson. Somebody fired back and said, "Man, how you go from winning 22 games to winning 60 games and firing the guy?" Well, I am almost positive that the Spurs won more than 60 games last year because that was Wemby's first year. So maybe he's saying the year before Miss Johnson took over the job, they had run 22 games, and his first year in there they won 60 games. It's obvious now that was not because of Mitch Johnson. That is because of Victor Wembanyama. You understand what I'm saying? And it is obvious now that the Spurs, let's be honest, bro, the Spurs don't, outside of a Dylan Harper, and Dylan Harper has grown on me in that OKC series. They did decent against what was it, Minnesota? But in that OKC series, man, Dylan Harper got on my nerves, bro. He was just too reckless and just too out of control. But he seems to have learned from his mistakes, man. His ball playing has been a lot more solid in this series, even though they lost. You know what I'm saying? He put together a valiant effort. Outside of him, bro, I'm looking at that team. I'm gonna be honest. I like Castle, but Castle, I ain't gonna hold you. Castle is nothing more than a guy with superior leaping ability. His skill set is what I'm saying. His skill set as far as the NBA, I think is, standard skill set. The jumper ain't great, the handles ain't great. You understand what I'm saying? So I think he's an average NBA basketball player with above average leaping ability. You know what I mean? He'll dunk on you. So with that being said, I don't care him being the top round draft pick. That don't say much these days. It don't be a lot coming out. So I feel like he's a very tradable piece to get you some value for. De'Aaron Fox, Give me Dylan Harper. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna run it from the point. Now, Dylan Harper point skills are questionable, but he is a rookie. I'd rather give him the shot at being able to develop his game out than think what we got from De'Aaron Fox is going to be the way forward. Because if I ain't mistaken, his max contract money start kicking in next year. They finna be paying De'Aaron Fox like $40-50 million a year for the next 4 years. Now, whatever team, if they trade him, whatever, they'll pick that salary up. But if they get swept, they gonna fire coach, and I think it would be justified because again, it's obvious that they won those games because of Vic. They run no plays, bro. What you seeing, Victor is struggling to establish position and keep position. Then that's when you run some plays, some down screens. I don't even know all the terminology and how this turned into that, but you hear some of these basketball shows, they've explained. But this is when you run some motions, bro, to where his end spot or somewhere along his route of traveling from one screen to the next, he's in position to get the ball right there in the paint and do something with it. He ain't got to sit there and struggle and try to set it up in the half court. The minute Victor gets a turnaround jumper in his repertoire, not Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant dribble move, back fake, fade away. No, not that Allen Iverson, Kyrie shit. I'm talking about when they inbound the ball or when they pass the ball to Victor right there at the elbow, up here at 7 feet 4 inches tall. When they hit him right here, it's a turn. It's a go up over everybody. No one will ever block that shot. It's a jumper, 2 points. When you get that in his repertoire, he'll be killing. I don't know what Tim Duncan and David Robinson teaching him out there, but from what I see, man, Wemby want to be a pretty ass Kyrie. He want to be a 7'4" Kyrie Irving. It infuriates me to see Victor get the ball, and the first thing he do is turn around, face you up, and get low. This man just went from 7'4" to 2 feet tall. Why? Then here we go with the in and out dribble, crossover, spin move, whirling dervish strip. Every time. You learned that early on in sports when you tall, bro. Stop bringing the ball down, man. And so, but before they'll get on Wemby and just baptize this game down, you know what I'm saying? I think Mitch Johnson will be out the door because even at the end of the day, all the one-on-one basketball, you can't get out there and play basketball for him. If a guy goes off script and just playing one-on-one basketball, aside from taking him out the game, and in these crunch times, in these situations, you need the best people on the floor. So you can't just take somebody out because you didn't like the decision they made. So it's like when you look at the way it's going, bro, and it's like not one time down the floor, you run a motion to get Victor in a spot or just get anybody in a sensible look. Man, the Spurs rarely take a good shot on offense. Rarely, man. It's such an eclectic form of basketball that, like I say, bro, they do so much stupid stuff to where I damn near I'd be like, man, y'all need to lose this game. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't manage to get one of these in New York, like I don't think they're gonna be able to do, then Victor, after going 7 with OKC and that emotional series and all that, it's like that's gonna be overshadowed by getting swept by the Knicks. Now I guess I gotta put some respect on the Knicks name, but if you'd have told me at the beginning of the year the New York Knicks was gonna win like 14, 15 straight playoff games and win the championship, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have gave you that. You know what I'm saying? Now I wouldn't want to go as far as the one lady and talking about you can't win with a small guard like Jalen Brunson because I actually think as far as a point guard and facilitator, now I don't know how many assists Jalen Brunson goes for. He's a hell of a scorer, but I really don't think you can win without a good point guard. I think the Spurs are showing us that. The Spurs do not have anybody at the top of that ball that can get the ball from the inbound and come on down in an efficient amount of time already in the general area where you need to be for this play that you run and for everything to set up right. They don't have anybody can do that. These niggas just get the ball in from anywhere, can cross over, dribble, and turn it back, and got to rush on over before the shut the across the court clock hit them. Pick up their dribble, sitting there looking, trying to find it, looking for tall Wemby. It's just so stupid, bro. The basketball they play, it infuriates me, man. So, as I look at it, I think Mr. Johnson is gonna be the scapegoat, and I don't even know if I could just say a scapegoat, bro. I think he's more lost in the sauce, man. There's more Victor team than he is, and I don't give a damn if you was Tim Duncan, if you was Robert Ory, Duncan, all of that, bro. You know whose team the Spurs was? Greg Popovich's. You understand me? But because it was a different game of basketball at the time, but there's still teams that run a lot of motion and stuff like that, bro. And I just don't see enough of it from San Antonio to justify the talent that they got out there in Wemby, bro. Because I think the Spurs should be winning this series, but New York just playing much harder, much more organized, much more disciplined basketball, and they making them boys look stupid, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Now Wemby had a chance to win that game at the end of game two. He gets the rebound after uncharacteristic. Was that when Jalen Brunson missed? No, because he missed one of them. They were up one. At any rate, they get that was off the free throw. Yeah, it was off a missed free throw. But they were tied. I'm getting confused. I thought they were up one when he did that, but no, they were tied when Victor got that rebound. He go out towards the side. I'm sure everybody's seen it, but I'm just still for visual purposes. And when he went to throw that pass, bro. I'm not going with the people that saying he should have just kept going. I'm not going with the people that saying Castle should have been looking up ready to go receive the ball. I'm looking at the coach and saying, nigga, why are you not calling a timeout? See, so these are the type of things, if they get swept, bro, when the GM and the front office sit back and they inventory this playoff series, you understand what I'm saying? When they sit back and inventory all of that, and to think that we got swept by some cats that ain't been up through here in 27 years, and the way we got swept, you talking about multiple turnovers, you talking about just come whirling dirt. They infuriate me. Everybody on the team just want to spin move all over the place. Between Vassell, Castle, and Wemby, it's a washing machine, a tornado of spin moves. That's all they do. Just spin into the lane, spin into the lane, spin into the lane, spin into the lane. I just don't get it, bro. It's bad basketball. Like I said, when they sit back and think about game two, Mitch Johnson, you should have called a timeout, slow it down. You had about 10 seconds to go at that time. Scores tied. Worst case scenario, we go to overtime. But you could have set up a play that would have given you something that we would imagine would have gave you some kind of good look from Wemby, or hell, I guess anybody at that point. The game tied. It's not like they missed the game and you lose. It's a tie game, so it's a win-win for us. We either win or we keep going, but it's not a lose. So the way he didn't call timeout, man, and all of that played after that, it's just like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I just got to feel like when they sit down and total all this up, I think the sum that can be deleted and replaced is going to be the one labeled Mitch Johnson. Now, you heard it here first. Nobody on that team has got no strong attachment to Cuz and stuff like that. This the league these days. This coaching these days. You got about a 3-year leash. If we ain't seen no significant change, and again, you can say 22 to 60 is a significant change, but it's obviously not because of the coach. You know what I'm saying? Popovich probably had more input on that, man. But that's that on that. Game 5 is tomorrow. I mean, game 3. What the hell I'm talking about? Game 3 is tomorrow, 7:30. Madison Square Garden, man. Them Knicks fans up there ready to go ham sandwich. You understand me? And it's gonna be so crazy, bro. We're not gonna be able to get rid of Fat Joe. He already worth him as hell. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to tell me basketball started in New York, son. You know what I'm saying? The Dominicans are gonna be done started basketball and everything if the Knicks win. Then it's gonna be insufferable. Oh my god, bro. All of them. 50 Cent. Uncle Murder, I could just see these. Like, it's gonna be cringe as hell, bro. I'm just gonna tune away from anything blue and orange because blue and orange, oddly enough, are also the colors of the Auburn Tigers. Another despised franchise of mine. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna try to stay away from everything blue and orange if the New York Knicks win. Even I don't have a problem with the Knicks, though. I ain't gonna say that. I hated them back in the Bulls Knicks days because I was a Chicago Bull MJ man, but you know what I'm saying? I rock with the Knicks, bro. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like their squad now. I rock with Carl Anthony Towns, hard body, big body Bronson play basketball. I really ain't got no, you know what I mean? I'm just talking about the fans. As far as the team, I let them live a little bit. Ewan is a legend and all that. So, you know, my boy Spreewell used to spell up. Yeah, man. So, you know, my dog Carmelo. So, you know what I mean? I rock with the Knicks, but them fans just going to be doing way too much, bro. Way too much. You know what I wonder? I wonder whether Stephen A. Brown knows Brown. Oh, I like the guy Uber racing just then. I wonder what he gonna be talking about because he picked the Spurs to win the series when he was usually a staunch New York Knicks guy, but he's such a fair weather. You dig? So I'm anxious to see what he gonna say if the Knicks win this thing. You know what I'm saying? I boy there from Madison Square Garden if I was the Knicks. But yeah, that's what we're gonna see what's going on tomorrow, man. Y'all tune in to that, and we're gonna see what's out. Where we at? A couple more minutes, man. How I'm gonna end it out. Now, I said humiliation rituals in the title, right? Now, there's an interesting angle. I've got 4 people that here in the last week I consider to have gone through humiliation rituals, right? We'll start with the first 2, which are like political people in that manner. Well, I guess they are political people. So I don't know if y'all know who Patrick Bet David is. He has a podcast called the PBD Podcast, about 3 million subs. And there's this guy named Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi Hassan is a liberal journalist, you know, debater. He runs an outfit called Zeteo. And they sat down and they had a little discussion, man, on the PBD show the other day. Now, this was on the back of we seen a guy named Adam Sosnick that is also on the PBD podcast. He was on Piers Morgan a couple weeks ago and got thoroughly destroyed by a guy named Dave Smith. You know, in fact, after that, PBD set him down on the next show and basically talked to him like a little old boy. Told him that you done damaged the brand and everything. What were you doing? How are you this stupid? This is what PBD said to the man. PBD turned right around after we just saw another guy. Well, we'll get to him. He turned around and have this show with Mehdi Hassan. Bro, Mehdi made him look so stupid. One of the classic clips, Mehdi told him, he said, do you know that under Donald Trump, you, sir, as you exist right now as an Iranian, would not be allowed in the country. There has not been one Iranian allowed in the country, apparently, since Trump has been there or this year. He's like, you do realize that now. PVD said, I would have snuck in. Oh, you mean me as an illegally immigrated. The thing that y'all vouch and clamor for every day to be eradicated, you would have taken part in that to come to do what? To come to the great country of America and pursue a better life. And you didn't feel like anybody could deprive you and tell you otherwise, right? That's what he said in front of Mehdi Hassan. I mean, he thoroughly waxed PBD down, bro. Pause. But there's been a lot of those going on. Like I said, the Adam guy went. They're from the same show. You saw Dave Rubin go on Jubilee the other day. And I swear to God, when I saw it in the recommends, I'm like, why did Dave Rubin agree to this? But he agreed to it because Glenn Greenwald, which is a fellow, I guess, do I say a fellow gay? I guess they are. They like 2 gay dudes, or, you know, Dave Rubin is definitely gay. There's a video of Glenn Greenwald out here in the world wherein he lived down in Brazil. Glenn has got on a maid costume, and Glenn is licking spittle off the floor of his male companion. And this is his thing. He loves it. Yeah. He will admit, he will tell you, hey, it says his personal business. So maybe this is the link up these two have. And so Dave looking saw Glenn go on there and cook. Now, see, Glenn is a form of MAGA. So they really can't do nothing with him. But now he's kind of turned cheek on it. You dig? So he know all where all the body's buried in the manner of speaking. So when he's talking to some MAGA people, they really can't say nothing. So he went on Jubilee and cooked. And then here we come with Dave Rubin last week, thoroughly flambasted on there. And then you see Medi and PBD, man. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, you know what I think is going on? I think a lot of these people, now that they know that ship is on absolute fire, you understand what I'm saying? It is the Titanic at this point. The lights are flickering off. You understand what I'm saying? And instead of, because people are going, like, they so serious and so stupid into that cult, bro. Like, if some of these big names, and you've had some big names, but if some of these, the Joe Rogans and the PBDs, and if they would have just kind of like pivot, bro, like they fans would probably, you dig what I'm saying? It might be a dangerous world out here for them. So I think instead of just coming out and giving up the GOAT like that, it's my opinion that they're having these interviews on these various platforms and allowing themselves to go through the humiliation ritual of getting destroyed by facts, and then just allowing just like a natural progression of saying, well, now I've learned, and or having that in their head, and at least giving the viewers, all of the millions of people that watch hundreds of thousands of people that watch their videos, giving them the opportunity to hear some real facts, and before they would have to just pivot and say, you know what, folks, this is what is really going on. I don't think this is, you dig? It'll be a dangerous world for them. So that's my view on it, man. I think they are doing that to try and absolve themselves of the responsibility of having to come clean. You know what I mean? If they not going to appear to do it, at least bring somebody on the show that's going to give out facts to all the people that's watching. Because a lot of people going to tune in when they've got these certain names. We're like, oh, PBD talking to Medi. So all of his viewers watched it. And they got to see the gap in intelligence in real time. You know what I'm saying? So that's my theory for why they keep doing these shows, bro. Because it's no way that they could think that they're armed with the particular knowledge that they need to go on and actually win these debates, because the material they cover every day should tell them, and I think it does tell them, that it doesn't equip them with a full-fledged 360-degree view of the material that they present. It's just slanted to say, hey, this administration good, you got TDS. And so I don't think any of them think they're going to win, but they just have no shame, bro. Any publicity is good publicity, apparently. And so that's what we had. Now we got these two fellas right here, bro. Gonna end out the show. These two folk from the culture. You dig what I'm saying? Now, one is far more egregious than the other, but they all involve females and all this. So we got Diddy and we got Sauce Walka right now. And I rock with Sauce, but this was pretty lame and funny, bro. So we got to get on it. Now let's start with Diddy first, bro. One of Diddy's tapes came out earlier this week. Daphne Joy, and I forget the dude, Vlad TV interviewed the dude. I canceled over 2 times. Let's talk about bad shout out whoever the dude is that was in the room hitting Daphne Joy. Why Diddy is there, bro? And I saw the tape, bro. I'm Diddy, my nigga. No, Diddy is diabolical, bro. It's so sick that we ain't seen none of this footage before now. You feel me? Because it's like, bro, Diddy's so sick in these videos. I just cannot believe that people kept this under wraps for all these years. Because we've been seeing him in Fabulous. And now I'm not accusing Fabulous, bro. But we saw in the early Drink Champs episode, we seen how he was doing with Fabulous. And so folks have forever said this about Diddy, but it is amazing to me that we ain't seen this footage, bro. In this tape, my nigga, like, bro, now doing this dude with Daphne Joy. Nigga, this nigga did it, bro. Diddy is fully glistening. You dig what I'm talking about? Top to bottom, bro. Like it look like Diddy just take the baby oil joint and just at the top of his head, bro. Like you're in the shower from the wash hair and you squeeze the shampoo in your hair like Diddy just squeezed the whole baby oil bottle, bro. Like in the damn cartoon when some ooze come down over and just literally cover their whole body, bro. It looked like that's what Diddy do. It is sickening, man. Then Diddy was sit in the corner with the camera, bro. He'll set the camera up for where to sit, where he can got proper use of both of his hands. Because what he's doing with his hands is one of them is clenched on one of his nips. Let's shorten the word because I don't know how you two whack about this. One of them is clenched firmly on one of his in areas. You dig what I'm saying? And the other, I guess he holding himself while he moving around and getting better position. It was so sick, bro, because it's like instead of moving his hand to use both his hands to move the cameras or whatever, this nigga would literally operate with one hand to keep from taking his two fingers off of his end area. If he had to use this hand for something, Diddy would only use this hand. He'll take this hand and put it on the other one. It's like at all times, bro. Diddy had to have contact with his end area. It is the sick. Like, oh my God. Then he talking to him regular. They just talking like they're in a regular situation, man. It's just like, what is going on right here, bro? It is crazy, man. Diddy is diabolical. I'm scared of Diddy, bro. Anybody do stuff like this and not be scared of getting out to the public, man, that nigga diabolical, ain't it, man? It's crazy. So that's what I just kind of put Diddy in the humility. Now, Daphne Joy seemed to be taking it in stride. Now, speaking of Daphne Joy, I didn't really understand what the whole ha he cack out funny thing was around 50 Cent. So you telling me 50 Cent. And see, this is why this him and Sauce Walka linked up, because two lames don't make a fly, but I gotta hit y'all with this. So you telling me that 50 Cent, big bad ass 50 Cent, fly player, I get money 50 Cent. In Hollywood, in the entertainment business, he know this prior material. 50 turned around and had a child with Shawty. Or did he already have a child with Shawty? It's just ain't no any way of connecting himself with that. It's like, Fifth, what are you doing, bro? Like, what? Now, I mentioned Fifth because Fifth trying to get his swag back. You know, he lost the T.I. battle. He took a couple L's, some brown nose and little L's here in the last 6 months or so. I saw him on a remix of a song. Actually, not even a remix. I saw him post a video the other day, and he had some background music. Background music was a song entitled "Just a Little Baby Mama Drum." Just a little baby mama drum. Just a little baby mama drum. Ooh, just a little baby mama drum. Right. That's what he was juking to, showing him getting out of a plane and going in restaurants and there. You know, that's what he does. That's 50 Cent. He lets you know that he eats fly food and he get out of expensive cars. He gotta let you know that. Sauce Walka, humiliation ritual, attendee number 2. I guess that ain't necessarily fitting, but it's pretty funny, pretty lame how it lay out. So apparently, there's this white lady out in the state of Texas that Sauce Walka has a child with. Nice looking little stallion of put together, materials. I will say myself. And apparently, in a pimping procedure, they call it a pimping procedure, Sauce Walka is reported to have sent her over there to lay around and under the bosom of a one Aubrey Drake Graham. You understand me? Now, in the midst of her laying under the bosom of a one Aubrey Drake Graham, it is reported that Aubrey Drake Graham said, "No, ma'am, you are not going back to Sauce Walka. I would like to love you and keep you around me. What do you need?" She proceeded to say what she need. He proceeds to buy it. And she is in the grips of Drake, at least at the time. This is a couple of years ago, something like this. Well, a conversation surfaced the other day, and it appeared to sound as if a young Sauce Pimp Hard, Pimp Harder. Happened. It sounded like he was in his feelings about her having chose up on a one drink. You dig what I'm saying? It happens a lot. Tricks fall in love. You know, if you've got a stable of them out here, you know the game. It happens sometimes. Some of them float off. They come back. Yeah, I mean, so folks like, damn, Sauce, you're a little pressed up about it, and I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Had the phone call been the only thing hit the market, I would have let bro live. But Cuz done made 2, 3 more videos. He made the song. And it's like I don't know if Sauce just on this promo run with it, but it seemed a little extra, bro. It was given when I'm off camera. I'm thinking about this shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's given when I laid down to go to sleep last night. I'm thinking about this shit. It's given when I woke up this morning. I was thinking that I was looking like him. I ain't that's you feel me? Cause he like gotta do something. I gotta let these niggas know. I gotta show him my new car I just bought. I gotta show him my money that I got. None of which I ain't gonna hold you, my nigga. I rock with you, ghetto gospel, and all that. I rock with you about it, but none of those would be a substitute or would make the fact that you in your feelings about one of your ladies. And those two don't line up. You could have went about 7 cars. What the hell they got to do with you in? So that worry about it, like, I don't know, bro. You putting on a little too much for your city, home. You know what I mean? Look like you and your feeling about it. Then Shawty went and did a video with interview with Adam 22, which is Sauce Walka, like I ain't gonna say arch nemesis, but you know what I mean, them boy got smoked. But if I'm not mistaken, I went on my Instagram today and I saw old girl, this is AI. I saw old girl basically circling around Sauce Walka as he was basically doing a B-roll video shoot for said song. Just a little baby mama drama. So I don't know if she done finesse the situation. She done finesse Drake. She finessed Adam 22 out of interview. Now she back with her boo Sauce Walka, but that's what I seem to have seen today. But the way that he acted out with this whole thing, I was like, boy, it's kind of a little humiliation ritualist. You dig what I'm saying? Like you're doing a little much, man. You know what I mean? But that's gonna about wrap it up, man. That's my list of people. We are over an hour, well over an hour, a couple minutes, 10, 11 minutes past an hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and take a shower and continue to give me some black power. You know what I'm talking about? So until the next time we do this thing, man, be looking out for a couple of episodes I got put together for the rest of the week. And you know what I'm saying? We gonna same bad time, same bad channel next Sunday, man. But like I said, subscribe to the feed. Click on them shows during the week. Go click on the one I most recently put out, man, and that's gonna make me a happy guy. So until I see y'all again, it's been straight like that, and I'm out.